It started off like any other walk, the kind of day where you're not expecting anything special. Just the usual steps, the usual path, and maybe a few birds in the distance. But life has a way of surprising you when you least expect it. We were halfway through our walk when a fox appeared. At first, he kept his distance, pausing every few steps to watch us. Then, to our amazement, he began to follow. He wasn't aggressive or scared, just curious. And what happened next truly caught us off guard. Our cat, Catmmy, started playing with him. We stood there in awe. Catmmy had always been a little reserved, especially after everything he'd been through. But there he was, his tail flicking in excitement, darting around as if he'd found a long-lost friend. That moment meant more than anyone could have guessed because, deep down, we worried he might never have another friend again. Catmmy had always been our baby, sweet, gentle, and deeply bonded to us. For a long time, he was the only pet in the house, and honestly, he loved it that way. He enjoyed his routines, his quiet places, and his one-on-one time with us. So when we decided to adopt a little gray fluff ball we named Yo-Yo, we weren't sure how he'd take it. At first, he was confused. Yo-Yo had a completely different energy. She didn't seem to notice that she'd stepped right into Catmy's kingdom. She was bold, playful, and totally unbothered by Catmy's initial hesitation. It took some time, but gradually, Catmmy began to open up. He started observing her, then joining her, and eventually he learned something he never knew he needed: how fun it could be to have a sister. From that point on, they were glued together, napping in sunbeams, chasing each other through hallways, curling up together at bedtime. They were best friends. True companions. It was like they spoke a language only they understood. And then, one day, everything changed. Yo-Yo crossed the Rainbow Bridge. It was sudden, and it shattered us. We were heartbroken, but it was Catmmy we worried about the most. He wasn't himself anymore. He searched for her in all her favorite spots. He stopped playing. He seemed smaller somehow, like part of him had dimmed. We didn't want to rush into anything. The idea of bringing in another animal felt wrong at the time. We thought maybe he just needed us more than ever, so we focused on him, showering him with love, new toys, extra cuddles, and time outside in new places. We hoped the change in scenery would help, even if just a little. Then came the fox. That strange, beautiful encounter showed us something we hadn't seen in a while, a spark in Catmmy, a little curiosity, a little joy. It was enough to make us wonder, was he ready to open his heart again? Soon after, we heard about a dog who needed a temporary foster home. His name was Moose. We weren't planning to foster, let alone adopt, but something told us to say yes. And we're so glad we did. Moose was gentle and patient, and from the moment he stepped through our door, Catmmy didn't hide. He didn't hiss. He just watched. By the end of the first week, they were sharing toys. By the second, they were napping beside each other. They had their own rhythm, and it just worked. Watching them together brought back memories of Yo-Yo. But instead of pain, it brought warmth. Catmmy wasn't replacing his sister. He was carrying her love into something new. So we made it official. Moose wasn't just a foster anymore. He was family. These days, Catmmy is thriving. He plays again. He explores. He curls up beside Moose like he used to with Yo-Yo. It's not the same. It never will be. But it's something beautiful, all the same. Every friend he makes, every bond he builds, carries a little piece of Yo-Yo with it. And maybe that's the best way to honor her, not by holding on to the sadness, but by continuing the love she helped him discover. She'll always be part of him, part of all of us. And through every unexpected friendship, even with a fox, Catmmy reminds us that healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means growing, loving again, and finding joy in the most surprising places. If this story touched your heart, please consider subscribing to our channel. It helps us share more stories like Catmy's with others who need a little hope and warmth. And if you know someone who could use a smile today, feel free to share this video with them. Thank you for being a part of our journey.